Movies and television always illustrate how there's nothing like the feel of tires on an open stretch of road. But how could you know that feeling if you've never driven? How would one know what it feels like to have the window rolled down, the air just brushing through your hair as you're going 70 miles down a road? Getting my driver's license has easily been the most nerve-wracking and exciting thing I have done. First, I'll tell you about how I passed the written exam on the first try. Second, I'll tell you about how I then passed the actual driving test, also on the first try. And then I'll discuss how, after almost 3 years of driving California, I've never been pulled over or had any problems. I was a late bloomer to getting my driver's license. It took me until I was 21, and my mom had gotten cancer and was facing getting her leg amputated. Because nobody else drove in the household, everything seemed like it was falling on my shoulders. In that realization that I would have to be the person to step up to the plate, I started studying for the written exam. I downloaded the DMV handbook. I played GTA for inspiration, because nothing like simulated driving to, experience the real thing. And I got lucky enough that when I went to take the written test, I passed in the first try and was able to leave with my learner's permit in hand. Unfortunately, that meant I now have to take all the mental knowledge I had and put it into physical road test. That was the worst part ever. Let me tell you, if you don't have your driver's license, driving on the road for the first time, especially with other cars around you, is the scariest thing. With a little bit of practice, I made my appointment at the Westminster DMV, and I was lucky enough to feel relatively comfortable doing my physical driving that I took the actual driving test. That day went pretty well. The lady was relatively strict. Unfortunately, I wasn't the best parallel parker. Lord, did I attempt it, though. Thankfully, she still passed me, and with a feeling of success, I was the first of 6 kids to pass on the first try. Now, not only did I have the satisfaction of getting my license to fill me, but the idea of bigger prospects were on the horizon. That license allowed me to take a better paying job. For example, now I drive all the way to Signal Hill from Westminster. I also became one of the sole drivers in my household. Thankfully, my mom, despite losing one of her legs, is still able to drive. And with 3 years of driving experience, I've never gotten a ticket, never been pulled over, never had an accident. And heck, I did so well, I've even taken trips all the way to San Francisco and drove through the narrowest streets ever. It really helped that learning it came naturally, but the preparation has allowed me to pass those first times. The mental knowledge is what propelled me to push my physical limitations to become a good driver. So, not only was I able to pass my written exam on the first try, and then tell you about how I got my actual driver's license on the first try, I also was able to successfully drive in California for the past 3 years now. I can say this though. The freedom of driving really is what movies and TV shows make it seem. There is no feeling compared to driving an open stretch of road going 70 miles an hour, maybe even more if you're a little lucky, and not having someone to stop you from that.